From Upper Michigan Source, this is your Sports on Demand for Thursday, December 27th. I'm Mike Ludlum. Three boys basketball teams from the UP and one from Milwaukee have converged in Kearney for a two-day tournament. Game one had Escanaba against the Milwaukee Young Cogs Prep School. And the Eagles started with an 18-4 lead before Escanaba went to work. Carter Hudson to Austin Willett for 2 of his 23. Eskimos back with an 8. But the Eagles would pull away again. Frederick Couch for 3. He had 26, and the Eagles led by 9 after 3. Jalen Tolliver puts one home. He had 32 points. Escanaba's down 16, but then they start pressing, and it works. Next thing you know, Craig Kameen to Ben Willis for the reverse layup, and Escanaba's just down 85-82. Eagles had a turnover. Escanaba has a chance to tie, but the shot is offline, and Young Cogs holds on to win this one 86-82. Game number 2, Menominee against the host Wolves. Points a little harder to come by in the first half. Brett LaFord for Kearney NATO knocks down a 3. Then for Menominee, the ball will eventually go to the top of the key, or the elbow we should say. That's Keaton Iki, and he's going to dribble right through the lane and the score, but Kearney NATO led 10-7 after 1. To the second, Michael Flanagan off the turnover to Max Baumler for 2 of his 23. Maroons get a putback from Dante Sartorelli, but Kearney NATO hangs on to win this one 51-46. The only other game was on the girls' side. In the Lower Peninsula, St. Ignace making its annual trip well below the Mackinac Bridge, and the Saints in overtime defeated Reese 63-59. In high school hockey, the McGinnis Holiday Classic Day 1, Howell defeats Hancock 6-2, Houghton over Calumet 4-2. The losers play first, then the winners on Friday night. We showed you part 1 of our Year Sports in Review on Wednesday. Let's take a look at what TV6's Alex Klein could put together for part 2.
The second half of 2018 was a good one, bringing us a lot of highlights on the football field. We'll start in the GLIAC with Northern Michigan University, where Jake Mayon was a bright spot on the Wildcats' 3-8 season, winning GLIAC Offensive Back of the Year for the second straight season. The senior broke the school record for career rushing yards of 3,842, which now stands at 4,220. Mayon also became the first player in school history to achieve 1,500 rushing yards in a season, setting a new NMU single-season rushing record at 1,505 yards. Also in the GLIAC is Michigan Tech, who finished the season at 4-6 overall. One of those victories was at NMU, where the Huskies battled back from a 14-0 hole to secure the 35-33 win at the Superior Dome for their 9th straight Miners Cup.
Well deserved. That's a heck of a ball game.
This football season was also a big one for 2 Upper Peninsula High School 8-man teams. Rapid River went 6-3 in the regular season, but played their best football when it mattered. The Rockets made it all the way to the Division II state championship game against Onekama and defeated the Portagers 30-18 for their first state title.
1, 2, 3, it feels like a dream still, like it hasn't hit me yet. It probably won't hit me for a while now, but we all just came together and wanted to do it for Coach O because he was 0-2 before, and we just came together as family and played a great football game.
The Pickford Panthers also had a great season, heading into the playoffs at an undefeated 9-0. They made it all the way to the Division I state championship against Morris, but ultimately fell 44-16 to the Orioles and finished the season at 12-1. Also on the high school slate, Kearney NATO Volleyball won its first Division IV region title, defeating Munising 3-1 and making it all the way to the state semifinals against Leland. The Wolves lost in straight sets 3-0, but it was still a very successful season.
Halfway through the season, these guys were playing great volleyball, and our goals changed at that point. It was to win our conference outright, win the districts, win the regionals, and even beyond that, we weren't expecting to get the state. And these kids played their hearts out this year, and especially in the tournament.
And lastly, back to the college ranks, where Michigan Tech cross country made history at the NCAA Division II National Championships. Sophomore Braden Reichel became the first All-American on the men's side, while Emily Bird became only the second All-American for the women in program history. Overall, the women's team placed 7th out of 34 teams. And to top it all off, head coach Jake Isaacson was named Midwest Region Women's Coach of the Year by the United States Track and Field and Cross Country Coaches Association at the end of the season.